Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, July 14th. We are looking at window traders, market profile of SPY IWM and triple Qs. A lot to talk about today. First and foremost, SPY's high today is 378.57. Early in the day, they put a print on at 379.05. Incredibly, we were like $6, $7 lower at that time. Well, we almost got it. But the high is 378.57, not 379.05. That's number one. Number two, we go out with a double distribution day in both SPY, ES, triple Qs, and NQ. Number three, Russell, which couldn't get above didn't see the opening after A until J, had a 9 for 9 POC, and you would have thought taking out the IB low with lower value and the indices being down would have been a much better odds. But oh no. Come all the way up and take out the IB high. Amazing. And the most important thing to take from today is if you don't respect balance rules, if you don't care about them, then first of all, you shouldn't even follow me, and or you shouldn't be trading, because balance rules are the most powerful things out there. They're more powerful than gaps, right? Balance and excess are your two most important parts of trading. Excess, it's tough to tell excess. Yesterday we had excess in H, but we didn't know it really right away. They took some of it back in I, K, and L. But excess ends one auction and begins another. Well, from yesterday's high to today's low, that's an $11 auction we got to the downside. So excess is certainly more difficult to try to figure out at times. Balance isn't. And we got within $1 of a $23 balance low, bounced off it and rallied $7. Okay? So incredibly important. Had a good day today. We saw the market excellent today. I did nothing but short A and B because that's what the market was telling us. Okay? We gapped lower initially in A. So with the small gap and everything else, every push down, any push up was a short. And I did that with 370 puts about 5 times in A and B. I actually went with out of the money puts because I thought we had a good chance to go test the balance low. And we got pretty close to it. And I got paid on all 5 of those shorts. Then in D period, something changed. Well, what changed? C stopped the one-time framing. D started one-time framing up. So when it got above the open, it's like, okay, things are changing here. Good chance we're going to take out the IB high and go fill the gap. So I got long to 375 calls, and those paid well. That was in F. Then in G period, we pulled back. I said I'm looking for an afternoon pullback. I thought we might get more of one, so I didn't take anything big, but I did take 373 calls against last week's low. Oh, that's another thing we have to go over. Against last week's low, and looking for the pullback. Those paid. So before I go on, we came out of an inside week to the downside. That's another reason I was doing nothing but shorting in A and B. 372.90 was an inside week down. We held it for 4 time frames. We went back and forth through it a lot in D, E, G, and H. But finally, and this is where my next point's going to be, I did miss a short in G actually first. When we fill the single prints in E, I say, well, the one-time framing is going to give it up. So I should have taken a short right when we took out F's low. I didn't. I just took the long. But that's fine. But when H and G got back and forth, I said, now I'm neutral. Back and forth through the opening, back and forth through last week's low, which is an inside week down. I go, I need more confirmation this market wants to go higher. And that's even after we raised POC from B's high to F's low by almost $1. Well, we got that confirmation in I. Okay? I period, raised POC again, never got anywhere near last week's low, and I was telling the room, and again, we don't tell the room after the fact. We tell the room before it happens that something's going on here, and I think this market has a chance to pop pretty good. Now, I had a nice long in J before it really popped a couple of times. I had the calls. I was flat, actually, when it did explode. unfortunately, but it still saw the market well, and I did well on the calls I did have initially before it really popped. And then when it pulled back, I took longs in J, and I took a long again in K period on any kind of pullbacks, and those were the 376 calls in J and K. So we saw the market really well. You could feel it, definitely when we were on the trading floor, you can sense the noise picking up when the market was picking up. Obviously, we don't have that behind the screen, but you can still see it. You can still sense the tempo in I and J prior to taking out E and F. You just saw what was happening. They raised POC again. They didn't get back through the opening in I. They didn't get back through last week's low. You can sense they were going to blow, and they did. Now, I thought they had even a chance to get even more, but still, we saw the market really, really well. And we're the only one that took out the inside week to the downside. Q's never took out last week's low, and Russell never did either. Now, destinations, upside. Today we have the upside on the for the highs, 378.57, today's high. Then we don't have anything to 380.17, which was 9 wide from yesterday. And then we have 383. What the heck did I write? I wrote the wrong price here. I wrote 318. Give me 1 second. Yesterday's high was 381.92, I think. Yeah. Talk about dyslexia. 381.92 is yesterday's high. I wrote that down wrong. And you should have everything else above that I gave yesterday. Now, for the downside, even though we probed, I'm not using L's high. Unless we get good distance from now on, I'm not using it. So we have our single prints. They start at L's low at 377.10 and get filled at F's high at 375.99. So $1.11 worth of single prints. That's also our price spike. So that's our line in the sand for tomorrow. If buyers plan on taking out today's high and getting more to the upside and putting the daily back into balance, you need to hold E and F's high. We have retail numbers tomorrow at 8:30, and tomorrow's also an expiration. Then below that, we have the pullback in G of 373.14 and today's low of 371.04, which if we hold today will be another weekly low. Okay? Now, tomorrow will be treated as 2 separate days tomorrow, double distribution day. L's low to the day's high, F's high to the day's low. Now let us get to the charts. I know this video is a little longer today, but a lot of different things happened today. So here's the weekly. If you don't know balance rules, we'll go over them quickly. We took out an inside week to the downside, finally. But the bottom of the balance is 370.18. So we got close to the bottom of a balance. That's one set of the balance rules. If you get rejected, then the destination is to the other end of the balance. And does that mean we're going to 393.16? We might. But first things first, we have to take out a daily high to stop the one-time framing and come into balance on the daily. So that's one part. The other part is to slightly stretch the balance low and come back in, or take out the balance low and never look back. And that's what happened on the daily. Remember, here's our 8-day balance. We finally came out of balance and went down $45. They didn't look back. So if you don't think balance rules are important, boy oh boy, search another line of work. As far as the daily is still down. One-time framing down 4 days. Very good job by the bulls today, but nothing's been accomplished except defending the balance low if we can't take out today's low tomorrow to come into a 3-day balance. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. Hope you had a good day trading. Enjoy your evening. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.